eFootball 2026 is here, which means a new controller and camera settings video. Compared to the last few seasons, nothing has changed in terms of attacking and defending. Still sprint with R1, although you can sprint with R2 to make more use of the adaptive sprinting. You can jog, you can sprint 50% or full with the R2. You can control that more with R2 over R1, which is just one single button. And defending haven't changed much as well. Still match up with X. I'm gonna explain to you the reason for that later again. Call for pressure square, still the PES classic layout. Shoulder charge L2, pressure R2. The reason for pressure on R2 is mainly because I can switch between single pressure and using super cancel without having to change or press many buttons, you know. Super cancel is R1 and R2 at the same time, and with releasing R1 I stop using super cancel and then can switch over to pressure, which means pressing in a straight line towards the ball holder. And with a single button using R1 on top of that in combination with R2, which activates the super cancel, I can get out of that scripted run and then press manually. So that's the reason, the main reason for having R2, having pressure on R2. Basic as it is, detailed settings, smart assist off. It should always be off. The reason for that is you're not a noob, boys. If you're a noob, then I can imagine that you need smart assist. But if you want to become a better player, if you want to play competitive, always have it off. All tournaments, or most tournaments, most of all the official tournaments, you're not allowed to use smart assist. Logical, right? You don't need the AI to play for you. If you want to let the AI play for you, you're better off playing Football Manager. Smart assist should be off. Cursor change semi assist. If I could, I want to have it as much as manual as it could, you know. But the thing is, with unassisted, even when attacking, you have to change your player. So I would never go with unassisted. It's too much work to change your players with every pass, with every move. So that's why I stick to the second most manual cursor change, which is semi assist. The higher you go, semi-auto assist, the more the CPU or AI is changing for you, which I don't want, because sometimes at the last moment the CPU changes your player and that's not what you want. You want to have it as much as manually as you can. Player tab, player name. The reason for this is, yeah, simply having the player names above the head, so I don't have to watch down on the player cards, you know. I can keep my eye on the player, and sometimes having that few milliseconds watching the player cards on the bottom of the screen, it can have a huge impact on your game. So I at least know which player I'm controlling. Sometimes you don't know because some players do look alike, you know. So with having the player name above the players' heads, keeps my focus on that on the ball holder, so I can keep the same way. Don't lose momentum. And then this is an important one as well: player orientated and ball orientated. The main difference between player orientated and ball orientated: if you pick ball orientated, it selects the ball as a center point when you want to switch your players. And what happens if you got the ball and two players next to each other, right? You use the ball as center point. You want to select the player on top, but sometimes, because the players are so close to each other, the chances are high that you're selecting the wrong player. So that's why I go for player orientated. It uses the selected player as center point. So the player next to the player you want to select is being selected, which makes it more accurate for me to select the player I want. So that's why I select player orientated. And then manual pass level, actually, well, it's set on 2. It's mainly because of how the servers work today. I would mainly use level 3, which I'm gonna do now as well. Yeah, so I would only recommend pass level 3 if the gameplay is responsive. If you're feeling delay or if there's a lot of lag, I would go back to level 2 or 1. The heavier it is, the higher you should go play. The more assisted you have to play, I have to say, sorry. So if you're experiencing a lot of lag or delay, then I would play level 2 or 1. The more responsive the gameplay is, level 3, man, because the new passing system, passing in this game is wonderful. So much freedom, especially with the through passes. When you think, you really have to think about the strength of the pass, direction of the pass, and most of those through passes are difficult to intercept if you got it right. So in my opinion, a game changer playing on pass level 3, but only if the gameplay is responsive. If not, then stick to level 2 or 1. And then tackle type, shoulder charge. Yeah, so this is for the L2 button. Yeah, I had simply had one button left, so no need to think about that much. Tackle type shoulder charge, which means to perform a standing tackle, I have to press the match up button or pressure button twice, which I usually do with match up, right? And why is that? With match up, your player is jockeying, is making smaller side steps by holding it, and sometimes you want to pull out a leg doing a stand and tackle, and that's what you do with the same button by pressing it twice, double tap. So that's why it's on X for me. Shot tap is basic. You can go for manual, but why would you make it too hard for yourself? Why would you make it difficult, you know? Just stick to basic, simple. Most pro players or top players stick to basic. Sharp touch is pressing twice. That's also to activate the speed burst by double tapping the sprint button. So I would keep it on twice. If you're pressing it once, you will have so many heavy touches all the time. So I would always go for twice. Direction guide off. Yeah, this is a personal preference. Same for next player indicator. I don't like all these things around the player. I would love to see the ball. I would love to see the feet, you know, the movements. Having these guides around the player, it's only distracting me. So that's why I have these guides off. But you can turn it on if you feel comfortable with it. It's up to you. Feint command type, easy to perform the necessary skill moves such as the double touch, Marseille turn. Stick it to easy. There's no need to make it difficult for yourself. Of course, if you put it on manual, same for shooting, it takes more skill. Makes you a more skilled player, but doesn't mean it makes you a better player. After all the world champions do play on basic and easy, so no need to make it hard for yourself. Those were my controller settings. Let's move on to the camera settings. Yeah, so same as I mentioned before, since I'm a competitive player, all the tournaments, smart assist is not allowed, or most official tournaments I would say. Same with the cameras. All tournaments that I've played were always being played with dynamic wide default camera. So that's why I'm sticking to dynamic wide for every mode, offline co-op or online. Always dynamic wide default. No need to change anything. If you want to compete, always play dynamic wide default, and that's it. So those were my settings, boys. There you go.